Good morning, boys and girls, and we're back with another lesson. Today, we're going to focus on lesson 1 10, and it's about problem solving. This is a little different than what we've been doing the last week or so because we've been doing some counting. So, now we're going to do some problem solving and we're going to construct arguments. So, our I can statement is I can use math to explain what I know about counting. So, let's see what our math lesson has to entail for us today. All right. I don't know why it clicked back like that, but it's okay. We're going to keep going. All right, our solve and share.
How can you count these shapes? Write the number to tell how many. Explain why your number is correct.
All right, I want you to write the number to tell how many. So tell me how many shapes there is on this picture right here. And then I want you to think about why do you think this is correct. And once you have your answer, we will move on to the next page. Let's see here.
You see yellow birds. How can you find out how many birds there are?
How do you think we can find out how many birds there are? Let's see.
You can count them. How can counters help you explain? You can record 3 this way. There are 3 birds and there are 3 counters. Write the number to tell how many.
All right, so that's how we can tell how we can tell how many birds there are by counting. And parents, if you have counters at your home, the counters can be very beneficial for your child while learning how to count. So let's go on to some guided practice. This lesson here is a little different than the lessons we've been doing, but it all works out just about the same. So let's read our directions. For numbers 1 and 2, have students make a math argument about how many birds are in each row and then write the number. Have them use object words or a method if their choice to explain their arguments and tell why they are correct. So for example, for number 1, there are 4 birds. So since there are 4 blue birds, how many, if there are 4 birds and they're all blue, so how many blue birds are there? I don't know if I like that. Let me see. All right, boys and girls, so for our guided practice portion of the page, I'm going to kind of explain to you how you would do this or how you could go about answering the questions. So for 1 and 2, have students make a math argument about how many birds are in each row and then write the number. Have them use objects, words, or a method of their choice to explain their arguments and tell why they are correct. So pretty much, how can you tell me how many birds are there for number 1? You can tell me by counting them. So what can you use to count them? You can use counters. So if you place those counters on each blue bird or number 1, how many would you have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you will write the number 4. You would do the same thing for number 2. How can you find how many red birds are in number 2? You can tell me by counting. So what could you use to show me how many red birds are in number 2? You can use counters or any object of your choice to be able to learn how to count how many objects are in each picture or how many birds are in each picture, and then I want you to write the number here, okay? And so that's how that works. So let's look at our next page, our independent practice. This is a little shorter than most of our lessons because we typically have about like 2 guided practice pages and then an independent practice page. Okay, so for our independent practice, we're going to read our directions. There are 4 problems, 3 through 6, and I'm going to do one for you. All right, so have students make a math argument about how many leaves are in each row and then write the number. Have them use objects, words, or a method of their choice to explain their argument and tell why they are correct. Okay, so for number 3, how many leaves are in this picture? How can you show me there are 5 leaves in this picture? What method would you use? Would you use counters to show me how many leaves are in this picture? So if you're using counters, how many leaves are actually in the picture? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can you write how many leaves are in the picture? Can you write the number of leaves that are in the picture? If you can, you will write the number 5. And you will continue on until number 6. For number 6, it says chlorophyll makes leaves green. There is less sunlight in the winter, so trees save their chlorophyll. This turns leaves brown, orange, red, and yellow. Have students to make a math argument about how many orange leaves are in a row, and then write the number. Have them use objects, words, or a method of their choice to explain their arguments to tell why it is correct. So parents, like I said earlier, if you do have counters, the counters would really, really help in this lesson. And if you don't have counters, you can make you some counters. You can cut out you some construction papers in a circular Also, parents, it is great to have some counters, but if you don't have any counters at home, an easy, quick DIY fix, you could cut out you some circles using construction paper and use those as counters as well to, help and guide them, to show them how to count the different items that are in the picture to, show how this makes 4, to make that argument, to explain it. All right, so let's move on here. And so now we have something different called problem solving for 7, 8, and 9. So the directions here says read the problem to students, then have them use multiple problem solving methods to solve the problem. So you would say to them, Brooke sees some rabbits. How many rabbits does she see? How many rabbits does Brooke see? For number 7, how can you find the number of rabbit Brooke sees? So your child should be able to tell you how they would find the number of rabbit Brooke sees. And then for number 8, what tool can you use to help solve the problem? So what could they use to help them solve the problem? That means what could you use such as counters? As we go back to our counters, they could use counters to help solve the problem. And then how can you use math to explain why your work is correct? So that's how you will work number 7, 8, and 9 on the problem solving page. If you have any problems or you come into any trouble with these pages, please feel free to message your child's teacher, because this lesson is a little different than our previous lessons, but we're here to help you. So if you have any questions or concerns with the lesson, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.